Them.
Don't toss me to the wayside. Come on and see about me. You know I'm no happy until I have you right by my side. My side. My love, my love, my love, my love. Don't waste time. Waste time. Come on and be about it. You know I'll be up on it and keep it clocking to the right time.
Right time.
Are you okay with me? I hope you're doing fine. When you drop pictures daily, do you keep me in mind?
What's going down? Y'all come on in. We're about to start the live.
I take away all pain and insecurities. You're insecure with me. I will left do you dirty. You'll be alright with me. I know you would. When we combine the powers, we can create new worlds. So baby, please don't throw me to the wayside. Just let me hang on to your waistline. Girl, shake it to the baseline. From baseline to cloud nine. Exploring some heavens with you. And I'm longing for you to see this fantasy come true. My love.
Greetings, salutations, and good now. Y'all come on in. Welcome. Good major, baby.
Until I have you right by my side.
My side.
My love. Don't waste time. Come on, be about it. You know I'll be up on it.
And keep it clocking to the right time. Right time. I'm saying greetings, salutations, and good now. Welcome to the major side of life. My name is Kevis Major, doing it major. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to all y'all in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We're about to start this little lecture, this little teaching. We're gonna be talking about some astrology. Y'all see the topics. You know what I'm saying? We prepare for the full moon, so we're gonna talk about lunation. We're gonna talk about moon magic. We're gonna talk about where the moon is at right now and where the moon is about to be. And trust me, guys, this is a stellar event that's about to happen. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to get into some magical card readings so you guys could have some additional ammunition, some additional weaponry, you know what I'm saying? And additional protection when we go through the full moon. Right, let me get into some comments. When is the full moon? The full moon is going to be in the next 2 to 3 days. Yeah, on the 17th. Yeah, on the 17th, we're going to experience the full moon. And you said, why do I always have a candle? No, that's some deep spiritual science, you know what I'm saying? But on the surface level, you know what I'm saying? The candle, it just gives essence and vibes in it. Like the smell is the smell that I'm vibrating with right now. The color is the color that I'm vibrating on right now. And for the most part, the fire represents one of the first primitive shape and forms that we inhabited as spirits. So when we look at the fire and we meditate on the fire, it reminds us of our first dance, you know what I'm saying, our first movement, our first song. So the fire is really symbolic, you know what I'm saying. All right, so let's get into this one. So for the most part, we know that the moon represents our mood, our emotions, our feelings, the things that we react and respond to. And the moon taps us into feminine energy, you know what I'm saying? So the more we know, the more we keep track of the moon, you know what I'm saying, from a astronomy point of view and an astrology point of view. So within, you know what I'm saying, the more you keep track of your emotions and your feelings, and the more you could sufficiently balance your emotions and your feelings, the more that you could go about your day-to-day, you know what I'm saying, life being on the correct side of the energies and not on the wrong side of the energies. Shout out to Fredo, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing it major. So for the most part, the most important thing, moon, mother, feminine energy taps us into our feelings and our emotions. Yeah. and how we react and respond to people, places, things, different situations and circumstances that may arise in, your life. So boom, keep that in mind. Moon, feminine energy. Now, when it comes to my type of spirituality and my type of understanding from an Indian perspective, we look at the moon in a whole totally different way. Most of you probably look at the moon as some floating rock out in space that some men could go to and people could actually walk on the moon. But from an indigenous point of view, we see the moon as a reflection of our actions and how we could look at our actions and judge them and analyze and react and respond to the things that we are doing as spirits, as a spiritual race. So when we talk about moon, we talk about our moods, So more times I'll be asking people, yo, where your moon at? AKA, where's your mood? How are you feeling? What's your vibration? So moon represents your mood, your emotions, your feelings, how you react and respond to the world, the energies. That's what the moon is. And like I said, the more that you could practice astronomy and you could watch the moon and emulate its phases, you're going to be living life in a more natural way. You're going to be more synchronized with these energies, and you're going to have more synchronicities when it comes to your manifestations, and your life is going to be, just more in the natural order. So this taps us into the science of lunation. Yeah. So y'all could get out y'all little pencils or pens, and start taking notes. And if y'all have any questions or anything you want to add to the conversation, be my guest. But let me get this information out. So now we know that moon represents our mood, our emotions, our feelings, how we react and respond to different energies. Now, lunation is the number of days counted in between each moon phase. Now, this is particularly important when it comes to people who do astronomy, astrology, even down to people who practice Wicca, witches, wizards, and stuff like this, even down to farmers and people who are just into natural ways of life. Then natural ways of life would practice lunation, which is correlating their actions and the things that they do based on the moon phases. What is brought on about? Just listen and follow me. We are talking about lunation. Yeah, we are talking about lunation. I just broke it down that the moon represents your mood, your emotions, your feelings. Yeah, and lunation is tracking the moon phases and the number of days between the moon phases. Yeah, so for the most part, we're going to start with where we are at right now. Kevin's having a singing battle with me. No chance. We're kicking some knowledge right now, And if you keep behaving in this type of way, I might need to mute you. We're talking about lunation. So if you're not adding to the conversation, that means you're taking away from the conversation. And why would you want to deter or distract from what we're talking about? That would be quite demonic if you ask me. So let's stay on point, please. Okay, and hopefully you could find this information helpful and useful, and you could learn how to conduct your way in a more orderly fashion. You understand me? I already put the topics that I'm going to be discussing. Just stick to the script. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. All right, so let's start with where we're at right now. Now, if you go outside, you're going to see that the moon is almost full. Now, when the moon is increasing in its glory, increasing in its size, increasing in its splendor, we call that waxing. Yeah. So waxing, axe, to add. Think about the axe, and the axe is getting bigger and bigger. So when the moon is waxing, this is symbolic for nurturing. Yeah. So think about as a farmer or as a gardener, when your fruits, because we're All of this ties into moon magic and manifestation. Moon magic and manifestation. So during the waxing phase of the moon, that's when we put more energy into nurturing our emotions, nurturing our feelings, nurturing the things that we are trying to manifest, nurturing the realm of reality that the moon is in. For example, right now the moon is in Aquarius, which deals with our associations, our friendships, our acquaintances, and the benefits of our network. So, right now, while the moon is in Aquarius and it's waxing, this is a good time to continue nurturing and tending to your associations and your acquaintances. Now, with this particular moon in Aquarius, we need to be doing some extra efforts. You know what I'm saying? We need to be doing some extra due diligences because we're going into a full moon, right? So let's finish the waxing and then we're going to talk about the full moon, specifically the one that we're experiencing right now. Thank you so much, Carol, for staying on point. I really appreciate you. This is, I mean, listen, we could talk about that later. You guys just absorb the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Just absorb the knowledge. But I've known this my whole life, you know what I'm saying? I've known this and you've probably known this your whole life. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know already. Yeah, I'm just reminding you of things that you may have forgotten. So now when it comes to the waxing moon, this is all of us as a collective root race, spiritual race, giving our emotional vibrations to the moon. Yeah. So you need to be nurturing the things that you're trying to manifest, nurturing your feelings, tending to them, making sure that you're weeding out any negative emotions, make sure that you're cutting down any negative vibrations that could stagnate you or that could hold you back. You know what I'm saying? And while you're doing this weeding, esoterically or spiritually, while you're doing this weeding esoterically and spiritually, mentally, emotionally, that may play out in the physical realm as you removing yourself from people, places, things, certain situations and circumstances. Yeah. So waxing, moon, nurturing. And I'm saying you're weeding, removing impurities and things that you don't want to manifest. So for example, all right, let me slow down. But can for me listen, I need some questions answered. All right, cool. All right, cool. We could start. You could. Let me take a break. Answer some questions. What questions do you have? You literally talk a bunch of words. Start from the beginning. I need to start from the beginning. You need to catch up. You know what I'm saying? You just need to stay on point. Stay on point. You know what I'm saying? Time is of the essence. Yeah. This video is gonna be posted on my YouTube page. So if you want to watch it back, it's gonna be posted on YouTube and you'll be able to watch it back. Just so that you could, you know, listen to everything again and maybe you could have a better understanding what types of moon are there, half, full, etc. Well, they're the different types or different phases of the moon, but we're just talking about the main phases and when it and how it correlates to moon magic, you know what I'm saying, or your manifestation magic, or a different way of looking at the world and how you go about participating in the world that we are living in. Now, for the most part, there are two worlds or two brains. You know what I'm saying? There's the Masonic order and there's the indigenous order. Yeah. So you either are of one of these worldviews or maybe a blend of the two worldviews, but you have the invader, you have the indigenous mindset, which I'm talking about, and you have the invader mindset. Now, I'm trying to blend both of them because before the invaders invaded, we never really had astrology in the way that we see it and look at it now. Yeah. All right. So let's get back on point when it comes to the moon magic or the manifestations. And when it comes to moon magic, when it comes to moon magic, no, we already established that the moon is your emotions and your feelings, and how you react and respond to people, places, and things, situations, circumstances. So when it comes to moon magic, magic meaning manipulation, alchemy, changing situations, we are talking about changing your moods and your feelings and being able to attract based on you having sufficient emotions and you knowing how to balance your emotions, if you get what I'm coming from. So I've always been told to write down what you want on the full moon, moon badge, you know what I'm saying? So all of those little things do have credence, but it's not about writing down what you want on the full moon. We know there's a precision leading up to the full moon, and that's what we were talking about, which is the waxing phase. So the waxing phase is when the moon is growing. So think about that part. Okay, you know what, let's start from the new moon. I was trying to explain it from where we are right now, which I think we can once you're up to, okay, you got it. Okay, cool. So getting rid of bad energies. So for the most part, with the waxing moon, it's an accumulation of things. But let's coin this moon phase as nurturing. So you want to be nurturing your emotions. You want to be, so start from new moon. Let's start from the new moon. I figured we could start from the waxing because the moon is actually waxing now. So we could understand what we need to be doing now. And then we could get to the other moon phases like in a whole circular motion based on where we at now. But if you guys want to start from the new moon, I guess we could go there. But it's basically the same concept. Now look at it like a gardener or a farmer or somebody who's planting seeds. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O type of situation, where the thoughts that you have, the things that you think about are the seeds, and your emotion is the water. So the thoughts that are on your mind, you know that you could plant seeds and they could grow. You know what I'm saying? Plant mental seeds we're talking about in your mind. So the mind produces seeds, and those seeds are thoughts. So I could plant one of my thoughts into your mind, and that thought that I plant in your mind could actually grow out into some sort of behavior or some sort of action, or you going out and doing something. So when we are talking about farming or gardening esoterically, we are talking about planting seeds, your thoughts, and watering them with your emotions. So waxing is nurturing, getting rid of the bad feelings, bad thoughts, anything that is not going to work in your favor for your benefit. During the waxing moon, we're nurturing. Now, the waxing moon usually lasts about 7 days. So everything is cyclical. And we know that the lunar cycle is about 28 days, 27 point something days. So everything is a day by day, week by week type of situation. So for the most part, with the waxing phase, it's like a whole day, a whole, not day, but a whole 7 days of consistently nurturing these ideas and these type of mentalities and staying steadfast in certain feelings. And it's hard because you know that your feelings change rapidly. You know what I'm saying? That you could feel one way this time, and you could feel a whole different way like 2 minutes from now. And then you could get a phone call and your emotions are up and you're feeling up again. You know what I'm saying? And then some shit happens and you're feeling down. So the emotions are like a roller coaster, up and down, round and round. So practicing moon magic, basically tracking the moon and tracking your emotions, and you dictating what emotions you're going to have on a day-to-day, week by week basis, is basically moon magic in a nutshell. Yeah, so it's no spooky dooky wooky abracadabra, some money's gonna drop on a plate, but it's about you dictating your emotions, and based on the seeds that you've planted, your thoughts, your visions, your imaginations, your emanations, how you see the world, you know what I'm saying, and you keep watering those seeds with positive emotions, surely but slowly but surely it's going to manifest into reality. You understand? So for the waxing of the moon, we are nurturing for 7 days consistent, and this is based on your spirituality or based on astronomy, astrology, or what's not. You're going to know in what realm of reality, which sphere of life you're going to be doing the watering. Now, right now we are in Aquarius. Yeah, so Aquarius deals with our associations, but I don't understand the idea of practicing magic, like it goes against everything I was always been told. Yeah, but everything you've been told is a lie, ain't it? Everything you've been told is a lie, ain't it? So, welcome to the major side of life, my friend. Me too. Me too. You know what I'm saying? Me too. My brain, but I always knew something was wrong. I always knew it was false. You know what I'm saying? I always knew. And we all know, we all have an inner knowing that some shit just ain't right. Some shit just ain't the way it's supposed to be naturally. You know what I'm saying? You could feel that even with like the government and shit. You just know that the laws and the jail and shit like this just ain't right. You just know. You just know. You just know. You have a knowing. And plus, shit just don't make sense. Yeah, when you logically think about it, like none of it makes sense. So, is it that my brain is something's wrong with my brain, or did you put some ritual and spells in this book to confuse me? Yeah. So the confusion is in the book, because no animal could read a book and no animal is confused about life. So why humans, who are supposed to be the most intelligent, are so confused? You know what I'm saying? Because the book and the parables and the stories is what confused you to begin with. And all of that ties into magic, you know what I'm saying? And moon magic and manipulating your mood to make you feel that your intuition is wrong or your intuition is misguiding you in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? And you could spend a whole lifetime going against your intuition, a whole lifetime going against Mother Nature, a whole lifetime going against the real gods. You understand me? So keep that in mind. Now, with the waxing moon that we are experiencing right now, it's in Aquarius. And like I was saying, Aquarius deals with associations, your networking, your networking, your affiliations, and the benefits of those affiliations. So now that we know that we are waxing and we are nurturing, we need to continue to plant the good. Not really planting good seeds is not necessarily a time to do new things per se, but to just continue preparing to reap the benefits of whatever you were working on. Yeah. So you want to continue weeding out, removing the bad thoughts and the bad feelings and nurturing the good ones. But for this waxing period specifically, yeah, this one specifically, because we're going into a full moon in Pisces, we need to also be adding protection energy, because we know on the full moon we're getting ready to reap the rewards of all of the positive thoughts, of all of the positive emotions that we've been given to the all. Yeah. So we also need to be adding protective measures to protect us from the invaders that may want to steal our fruits, you know what I'm saying, that may want to come into your esoteric garden and pick your mangoes and pick your watermelons and block you in certain ways and different forms. So the waxing period, like I said, it's like a set. Then we like to add 2 days because it's actually like a 9 day period, but you want to do 2 days specifically to add protection to the nurturing energy that you're doing. So in this Aquarius moon, the protective energy, the protective measures that we're going to take is by building an efficient shielding system that could shield us and protect us and block us from any unwanted feelings that we may be susceptible be open to at this point in time. And because we know that it's dealing with Aquarius type energy, our associations, our friends, our acquaintances, our affiliations, you need to be keen on all of those things that I just mentioned, the people, places, and things that you're associated with, because this is the energy that the moon is in. And this might be where you might slip up and you might not pluck out the right weeds, or you may be watering the wrong individuals at this point in time, or the wrong places or situations that may block you from manifesting whatever the hell you are working on, that you're trying to create from your mind. You understand? We're gonna stop here and get into some questions. Drop any questions you have. So how do you use this to protect us spiritually? Like I said, is having more awareness, more consciousness, so you could know what to look out for. Sometimes it's not the things that you know, but it's the things that you don't know that you don't know, if you understand. So by practicing astronomy and just being more aware of different levels of consciousness, then you could be okay. The moon is in Aquarius. I know Aquarius deals with associations and my affiliations. It's gonna be a full moon. I'm working on trying to manifest a situation over here. I don't want any of my associations to interrupt this manifestation that's gonna happen. All right, so I know how to move now. It's not like a hokey dookie, spooky, abracadabra way, but it's all mental warfare, you know what I'm saying, and emotional states that you're trying to stabilize so that you could actually have something in real life, you know what I'm saying? Because you know whatever is on your mind, whatever you're paying attention to, that's what you're about to create. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that when it comes up to the full moon, that you protect yourself from going against yourself. For example, let's say you were trying to manifest a new relationship. Yeah, let's just say a relationship, or let's talk about job, because we're in Virgo season. You're working on some sort of business or side hustle, and you have like a barber shop that you usually go to. So these people in the barber shop are like your associates, or you're affiliated with them or some way, shape, or form. And I'm saying, and you know that you're trying to start this new business. Yeah. So boom, we know that moon is in Aquarius. Associations, affiliations. Okay, I'm going to go to the barber shop to cut my hair. I'm trying to manifest a business. Now, I know I need to be watering this idea. I need to be nurturing it. But are these individuals in the barber shop the right people to water and give my emotions to when it comes to this business I'm trying to manifest? Or do I need to do some weeding, you know what I'm saying, and eradicate those people out of the realm of this business that I'm trying to manifest? You understand where they're coming from? So it's that type of way. It's not like abracadabra, the moon, you know what I'm saying, but it's having a different consciousness. Yeah. So you could go out and actually manifest your ideas. And I'm saying, now, if you think, okay, these people in the barber shop, if I pour out my waters, my emotions, if I connect with them, if I add my nurturing energy to my business with these affiliates and associations, will it be able to help me manifest, or is it going to block me? You know what I'm saying? So this is where the protection comes in, where you build a sufficient shield to be like, okay, I know that this business that I want to do, I need to have some sort of help or backative, but these are not the right individuals. So you protect yourself by being quiet in this situation. Yeah, so protection looks different in different situations, but we know that when it comes to Aquarius, you could be guilty by association. Yeah, so let's keep this example going. Maybe you do spill the beans, maybe you do nurture your business idea that you're trying to manifest with these people at the barber shop, and you start preparing to do a business with them, and you start vibing with them and watering this idea, and before you know it, one of them turn out to be like a scammer or a robber, or like they're like I don't know, some druggie or something, and they end up robbing you and the business just because you planted, you know what I'm saying, your seeds among thorns. You know what I'm saying? You were casting your what did the Bible say? You're casting your goods among the swines, you know what I'm saying? So the protection in this is like evil eye, exactly like the evil eye, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes we open up ourselves to get evil eye. You know what I'm saying? We put ourselves in a position where people could badmine us and evil eye us just because we don't have the wherewithal. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that you need to be aware of these energies. You know what I'm saying? But now you know. If you don't know, now you know, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know very well who you are. Gotta reach for the stars. Reach for the stars. You gotta go out and get it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Biggie and the backup singers. So I'm happy that y'all are on page. Now let's talk about the full moon. Yeah, because it's a whole little cycle, and we just had the intro and we just barely got over the waxing. We do know it's just how to use what we have exactly, and it is cutting exactly. No, you guys know what I'm talking about. You understand me? But using astrology, astronomy, and I'm saying we could be more aware of the area of life that we need to look out for, because we know that these energetic signatures direct the fear of life. You know what I'm saying? The direction that we need to be looking in. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't be aware of all things at all times. Sometimes we need to shine a light in certain directions and put other elements in the dark. You understand? Alright, boom. So let's talk about a full moon now. Now that you guys understand about the whole waxing element, and you have more esoteric weaponry, you know what I'm saying, to go about this little waxing period, when the things that are on your mind, you know what I'm saying, you just need to nurture the positive thoughts, and you know what I'm saying, axe out the weeds, you know what I'm saying, and look out for the snakes. Now we also add in the protective element, because we know the area of life and the different facets that we need to look out for. Now when it comes to the full moon that we're going to experience, of course we're going to do different live streams and videos about the full moon, because this one is going to be very potent and potent. But when it comes to the full moon is when you relax and you enjoy the fruits of your labor. Question: so using the moon to help us to be more spiritually aware? Yeah, basically using the moon to be more spiritual aware, and basically using it as your calendar, you know what I'm saying, almost like a navigation system. And for the most part, we all practice astronomy already. The fact that you look at your calendar every day and you know that it's September 15th, and you know that the sun is up and then it's gonna set, and then the moon, and you know the dates and your birthday, all of that is astronomy. So you're already tapped into it in some way. Yeah, but it's just about taking your power back and understanding it for yourself and knowing how to use it for you. Because the whole calendaring system that we use, the whole Gregorian calendar, is based on everything that we are talking about right now. The sun and the moon and the different transits. That's it. That's all. So the better you know about it and the better you know how to use these systems for yourself, then shit, the easier life is gonna be. Because that's how they built the world. Now, from an indigenous Indian perspective, shit, like, we didn't even need none of this. We never used any of this type of stuff. But because we were in captivity and we are trying to be able to live as sufficient as we can in this Babylonian system. That's why I gotta dive so deep into astrology, astronomy, dive so deep into the Bible and into all these other books, because we gotta know what the invader is up to, you know what I'm saying? We gotta know their mindset and their mentality and know how to, you know what I'm saying, play the game and not let the game play us. You should look at the sun and the moon as the clock and to manifest exactly, you know what I'm saying? The sun, moon, and clock to manifest. That's how they created the clock in the first place. You know what I'm saying? That is the clock. That is the ultimate clock. Our clock is based on that. So, on point. Alright, so when it comes to the full moon is the time for us to relax and then to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Yeah, so just like a gardener, just like a farmer, when the fruits are ripe in their ripened state, you don't necessarily need to rush out and pick them. You know what I'm saying? You let them become ripe, and you know, as they in their exalted state, then you go and pluck them and stuff like this. But for the most part, when the moon is full, there's no need to add any more emotional energy into what you're trying to manifest. That's the time to practice like the Sabbath ritual, and you just rest, you know what I'm saying, and you enjoy not necessarily the fruits of your labor, but you enjoy the hard work that you put in. You understand me? So you're giving reverence to all of the times that you were planting good seeds and the time that you were nurturing. Because when it comes to this type of manifestation, we're trying to manifest from the most spiritual, lightest, esoteric form down into the most dense physical forms. So, for example, during the full moon, you might say, oh, I was trying to manifest this business. I was trying to manifest $1,000. But it's not about manifesting something physically, even though we want to have something physically, you know what I'm saying, to satisfy our root chakra. But it's about manifesting a sufficient mind state that so is it in heaven, so it shall be on earth type of mentality, that you know it's already created in your mind because you have the sufficient thoughts and you've been nurturing the feelings to go behind it. You know you have what it takes from a spiritual level to actually maintain this physical thing that you're trying to manifest. So it's deep and it's internal, external, so above, so below, you know what I'm saying? Type of situation where, let's say, the same job, the same business thing, maybe in the next 2 days we don't get the business. Like I was just saying, it's not about getting depressed like, oh, the manifestations didn't work, but you have the sufficient wherewithal to have this thing when it comes. Yeah, like, can you just pray, or does this go hand in hand with the Almighty? How do you think? How do you think on people that say it's demonic to rely on protection or guidance that's not God? Don't believe them. You know what I'm saying? Don't believe them. Don't believe them. You know what I'm saying? That sounds foolish, because listen, if we were back in the golden dawn age and I came up to you with a big ass sword, you know what I'm saying, and I was gonna chop your body in half with a big ass sword, wouldn't you want to have a shield to protect you? You know what I'm saying? Like, who would you call on? Would you call on the shield bearer, or would you call on God if I approach you with a big ass sword to chop you in half? You know what I'm saying? We gotta be realistic. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be realistic. I'll say so, let it be. God has a plan for me. Yeah, I'm saying God has a plan for you. Which God? Their God. Their God has a plan for you. You know what I'm saying? No, I grew up in church. I grew up indoctrinated, but I knew, yeah, from my inner knowing, because I've lived different lifetimes before. Like, we didn't have that type of concept of God. Yeah. So it's a bit different when I have a different understanding of God to what y'all were taught or what y'all being indoctrinated to think God is, you know what I'm saying? Most of the time these gods they be talking about were actually men, you know what I'm saying, who killed you in the name of a symbol or who killed you in the name of some god that they created and who blessed you and gave you things and say, oh, this is in the name of this Jehovah God and just Jehovah God did this and that, you know what I'm saying? But it was actually a group of men who was doing these things, you know what I'm saying, and presenting it like it's God did it. So there's no God like Jehovah. There's no God like Jehovah. You know what I'm saying? So they would hang 500 Indians upside down from a cross, you know what I'm saying? And sing, there's no God like Jehovah. There's no God like Jehovah. You know what I'm saying? No, all the Indians confused. Like, who is this fucking Jehovah? Like, Jehovah caused this. Like, we need to be scared of this Jehovah person, you know what I'm saying? And all along is a group of small dick men playing Jehovah. You know what I'm saying? And ain't no goddamn thing did nothing but these group of invaders. So that's how we look at it, like from a indigenous point of view. But yeah, let's finish off. Let's finish off this part, and then we could get into some card readings. And I gotta go in a minute. So when it comes to the full moon, we're dealing with relaxing and enjoying the hard work that you've been putting in. You're giving reverence to all of the good seeds that you would have planted during the new moon that we're gonna break down in a minute, and giving reverence to, you know what I'm saying, your routines when it comes to nurturing these thoughts and these feelings. So the full moon is a time to relax and respond, not to relax and enjoy, and to get ready to reap all the benefits. And I'm saying, no, you're still doing your little protective energy. And I'm saying, still keeping your guard up for anyone who's trying to block these blessings or what's not. But for the most part, you're not trying to add too much. Yeah, look at the full moon as like a full cup. You understand me? You don't want to do anything to tip over the cup. Yeah, so you just want to be calm, cool, collective, and just let the energies that you already exuded to just take course, per se. Now, when it comes to after the full moon, now we get into waning. You know what I'm saying? When the moon is getting, when it's draining, waning, releasing, and that's when you're really harvesting and reaping the benefits. And we're going to talk about this one in depth during that period. But yeah, this is supposed to be a nice motherfucking 7 days when you, yeah, you enjoy, you know what I'm saying, the benefits of the mentalities and the feelings that you were upkeeping and practicing and nourishing for the past, you know what I'm saying? That would be like 12 days. Yeah. So you're going to have about 7 days of enjoyment. No, not 7 days from now. We're going to get into now in a moment. We're going to get into right now in a moment. I'm just talking about still the concept of lunation. So we have 9 days of waxing, 9 days of nurturing our ideas and our thoughts. We're going to have 3 days of the full moon, roughly. So 9 plus 3 is 12. Yeah. And then we're going to have another 9 days of waning where we're harvesting, we're reaping the benefits, we're having good testimonies, we're able to share, we're able to trade, you know what I'm saying? Our benefits and stuff like this, and that's a whole little 7 to 9 day period. And on the last like 2 days, it's time to start preparing for the new moon. Yeah. And so the new moon is when we're going to go out and plant new seeds, you know what I'm saying, and start replanting seeds. Now, if you're working on, let's say it's the business, or I don't even want to use business because sometimes it's just you're trying to manifest a new mentality or a new emotional state. So it doesn't always have to be physical. You understand me? For example, let's say that you're not confident, yeah? And for the next 30 days you want to work on your confidence. Yeah, so sometimes when it comes to manifestation, it's not about money or something physical, but it could be an attribute. You want to become more confident, so let's say for 9 days you were nurturing the thoughts and feelings that make you feel more confident. On the full moon, you're relaxing and enjoying all of the hard work that you're putting. On the waning period, you're actually harvesting and enjoying the confidence that you have accumulated, and you exuding it. Now, when it comes to the new moon, we're going into a new phase. Yeah. So this is time to plant new seeds and to add on to what you were doing. So let's say we're working on the confidence. You want to plant more seeds of being confident in maybe different areas this time. So you're still working on the same thing, becoming more confident. Yeah, but it's now to plant new seeds, new thoughts about being confident in different areas. Let me have a different vision about being confident talking to this girl, or let me be confident about doing this thing. And you start planting those new seeds. You understand me? Start having those new ideas. And then we're going to do that for like a whole 7-day period. And during that time is the time where we assess the good seeds and the bad seeds, because for the most part, you could have a multitude of thoughts, a multitude of seeds that you want to plant. So during that 7-day period is a time where you could basically decipher, okay, I want to plant this idea. I want to be confident in this, and this area. Maybe we could think about that area another time. You know what I'm saying? And you have a whole little 7-day period of choosing what seeds you want to plant, to start planting them, start implementing them, putting them into your soil, which is putting them into your structures, your practicality, the way how you organize and build some sort of stability around these thoughts, around these seeds that you've planted into your earth. And I'm talking about spiritually, esoterically. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys are with me. We're talking like metaphors, you know what I'm saying? So in a nutshell, that's the whole lunation cycle. And it goes on like a 28-day, 27 point something day cycle, where you have 7 days for the new moon, or well, not really 7, but we count it as 7 because it's going to be new. And then you know what to do. You start planting seeds and it starts going up into the waxing phase, and everything is fluid. Yeah, it's not really rigid because it's not exactly like 7 days. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you need to be doing the tracking the moon and doing the astronomy, so you know where the moon is at, because the moon is moving a sign every 2 point something days. Yeah, so you got to keep track of it the same way that your emotions move, you know what I'm saying, very rapidly. So believing is God is silly and naive, basically what you just said. So anyone that has other beliefs that this, I've been brainwashed. Long story short, if you want you want the long answer, or you want the short answer. You want the real, or you want the fake? You want the real, or you want the fake? And the thing is, like, all of these questions are rhetorical because you know the answer. You've just been witchcraft out to not believe in yourself, you know what I'm saying? And every time you go against your belief, you get scared, you know what I'm saying? You think you're gonna go to hell and burn in all eternity. They done fucked your minds all the way up, you know what I'm saying? That you're scared to even have certain thoughts. You know what I'm saying? If you have a thought of thinking this isn't real, and you start having that inner conflict, you know what I'm saying? Then you get possessed by some demons that make you think that you could actually go to a place with eternal fire. You know what I'm saying? Where you know you could just, and the fire is gone. So how could fire be eternal and burn forever and ever? You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta know those are like metaphors and allegories and parables. because what we're actually talking about, there's no real language or words for the spiritual realms. There's really much words. It's more like vibration and movement at that point. I was like that, scary at that, but that's how we are programmed. Shit, blood in, blood out. You don't think it was scary when there was indoctrinating your mind too? Yeah, I'm sorry, when they were hanging Indians upside down and raping the shit out of our grandparents and shit. That was scary, you know what I'm saying? And they did it in Jesus' name. So how the hell we not gonna believe in Jesus? I just saw 15 white men rape my grandmother in Jesus' name. I must believe in Jesus. No, you know what I'm saying? I must believe in Jesus. I must believe. And there was nothing grandpa could do about it. You know what I'm saying? Great grandpa, he couldn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? In Jesus' name, just watch your wife getting raped. You know what I'm saying? In Jesus' name, with a big cross right there while they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So of course you're gonna believe that this symbol is powerful, because we were subdued at that point. So yeah, it's blood in, blood out. You know what I'm saying? It was hard to get in. It's gonna be hard to get out. But the quicker you get out, you know what I'm saying? The quicker you start the journey of taking back your power, then, you know what I'm saying? So let it be. Never been religious. My dad's religious. Because innately we know something is wrong with the religions, how they practice it. You know what I'm saying? No, I could create a whole different religious practice that's 10 times, well, maybe not 10 times harder, but more sufficient than theirs. So my dad's Jamaican, granddad is Indian. Shout out to your family. Powerful heritage, you know what I'm saying? And for the most part, I have a beef with Jamaicans because they be dropping the ball. They drop the ball throughout history, you know what I'm saying? So I have a little beef with the Jamaicans. I'm a bit Irish too. I got a little Irish in me too. Because for the most part, the Irish was slaves just like us, you know what I'm saying? The Irish were slaves just like us, and they used to use the Irish and the plantations for interbreeding and shit like this. So yeah, I believe in hope and afterlife. That's what's up. Gotta have hope, you know what I'm saying? Gotta have the hope. And the afterlife. There's life after life. Better believe it. My mom's Irish, Spanish, and my dad's Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, the Jamaican men. The Jamaican men. That's one thing they're doing right though. They're being fruitful and multiplying the world. So shout out to all the Jamaicans, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, my gripe with Jamaicans is that they fell for the psyop of Rastafarianism, and instead of tapping into their indigenous Indian roots, they fell for the propaganda of thinking that they're from Africa. So that's the whole psyop on the Caribbean, you know what I'm saying, making most of the people think that they're more African than Indian, and confusing them, making them want to leave the Caribbean and go back to Africa, and believing that Haile Selassie is a man and shit like this, you know what I'm saying? Haile Selassie was just a mason, you know what I'm saying? He was a mason man. Come to usurp Jamaica because they were going to have a crazy revolution in Jamaica, a crazy spiritual awakening. Yeah, so they came in with some big Freemasons, some big Masons, took over the whole shit, played the whole Jesus story again. You know what I'm saying? How y'all created another Jesus after Jesus using the same Bible and shit, and y'all fell for it, thinking that man is God and all kind of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm West Indian. West Indian, you know what I'm saying? But the whole of the Americas, the whole of Americano is mine. From the Amazonian all the way up to the Canadians, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, a lot of us didn't, a lot of us, like, we don't really like the cold. And the Caribbean was just like a good region to settle in, so we chose there to settle. Let's finish with these moon phases. So I think we finished lunation and the whole cycle. So y'all got a gist of like moon magic. The seeds are your thoughts. The water is your emotions. And the earth, you know what I'm saying, is the routines and the structure and the pattern and how you organize your thoughts and your emotions. And that's how you go about manifesting in a spiritual, more natural way. And I'm saying, and you could also see this playing out in nature as your validation, or as your backing, or as your proof, or as your verification of how this actually works in nature. Now, thank you so much for the bracelet. I wish I could put that bracelet on my arm for real. It's the ethics he brought up to them and for. But the thing is, like, they have really strong ethics though. Nah, you're confused. They don't praise Selassie as Jesus. They don't. Selassie is there like Christ figure. What are you talking about? Every religion has like a Christ figure, and that is their figure. You know what I'm saying? They're always worshiping some sort of man. You know what I'm saying? So I know that it's supposed to be a way of life, right? It's supposed to be a way of life, but there is a figure attached to it. Haile Selassie, there's a name, there's a color, there's a flag, there's a symbolism, there's a astrology, there's a astronomy, there's writings about this. All of that is Masonic practices, you know what I'm saying? That's Masonic practices. Indians never really did that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? The whole Rasta way is being free from Babylon. Nah, that's not the Rasta way. That's the indigenous way. That's the Indian way. You know what I'm saying? That's the Indian way. But they confused, you know what I'm saying? Thinking that they're from Africa and they want to go back to Africa and Marcus Garvey's boat. I'm saying, but now it's a bit different because we already went through spiritual shifts and spiritual awakening. Nobody believed in Haile Selassie, you know what I'm saying? So the whole religion just fell into a lifestyle of just being indigenous Indians, you know what I'm saying? So they just need to change back from being Rastafarian to be indigenarian, you know what I'm saying? Because the only thing the Rastas are doing are just living indigenously, living off of the land, into herbalism, into necromancy, into just the regular native way of living. Well, he is not really a Rasta then, you know what I'm saying? That's like saying you're a Christian, but you don't believe in Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a Rasta if you denounce Haile Selassie, the first, you know what I'm saying? Choke on a chicken bone. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying though, but they're fucked up still. They're still fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Because they would fight against me for saying, no, you're not African, you're Caribbean, you're indigenous Indians of the West, you're West Indian, you know what I'm saying? No, we're Africans and shit, you know what I'm saying? So they're still a bit flunked out, if you ask me. Most of them, your dad is probably a unique individual. Alright, so let's finish it up with the moon in Aquarius and talk about a few more alignments, and then we're gonna wrap this one up. This moon in Aquarius is leading us up to something very, very powerful with the full moon. is going to be very, very powerful with the full moon. Yeah. So make sure that y'all are doing the proper waxing protections and rituals, and just make sure that you've been planting the right seeds, because it's going to be quite powerful. What's going on, Kirsty? What's going on? Shout out to you. Now, for the most part, when it's the full moon, we're going to have the moon conjuncting Saturn and Neptune. There's going to be a whole combination of elements, yeah, when it comes to the way how we're reacting and responding. So we know that we're in Aquarius, reacting and responding to associations and affiliations and associates. But when the moon goes into Pisces, it's going to shift more on our spirituality, our subconscious, our dream state, our fantasy realm, the things that are unknown, unapparent, that we could mystically harness that mystic energy to make our dreams a reality. And we're going to have the backing of Saturn, which deals with structure and stability and manifesting things into reality. And also we're going to have the power of Neptune electrifying our dreams and electrifying the unseen essences that we want to make into reality. So we're going to get deeper into that in other live streams, because I need to get ready to go to the club. You know what I'm saying? We're in the club tonight. So we're gonna just wrap up. We're gonna wrap up now. This was a good chat, and tomorrow we're gonna talk more about the actual full moon. But I'm happy that I was able to break down lunation, moon magic, and different concepts that could help you guys with your manifestation and just your day-to-day life. So yeah, this was a great one. This was a great one. Oh man, I loved having you here too. I really appreciate y'all energy, curiosity, questions, just the interaction to keep it a being. Really good questions and stuff like this. Shout out to the moderator. We didn't have much work to do, so it's jiggy. It's major. It's major. Do I have any announcements? Any announcements? I'm in the club tonight. Monday. You know what? I'm gonna just keep my mouth zipped. You know what I'm saying? Will Mary still be in her current job by October? Oh shit! We were supposed to be doing some card readings. Yeah, let's do the card readings. I'm gonna do a card reading for everyone real quick. When it comes to how to move, just leading up to the full moon, you know what I'm saying, and how to work on your protective energies leading up to the full moon, when it comes to your manifestations. So this reading is about what type of protective energies we need to exude in the next couple of days. We know that it's Aquarius. We're looking out for our associations, our friendships, anything that you're affiliated with, people, places, things, circumstances, situations, ideas, thoughts, feelings, anything. It's deep, yeah? Anything that you're associated with. And we know that the sun is in Virgo, that deals with our routines, our well-being, our jobs, you know what I'm saying, the things that you do on a daily basis. So for the next couple of moments, yeah, we gotta be spiritually protected. You know what I'm saying? Wagwan, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Greetings, salutations, and good now. Alright, so who wants to be first? Let's do Jamie. You know what I'm saying, Jamie, let's see what type of energies we need for your protection. You know what I'm saying? And because the moon is in Aquarius, we're gonna do a big 11 shuffle. Will Mary still be in her current job by October? Alright, I'll do yours next. Let's do Jamie first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, Jamie, you gotta read the manuals. You gotta dive into the deeper details. The devil is always in the details. Yeah, so in the next couple of days, when it comes to your associations and your manifestations and any protection that you need to do, you need to look into the details. You know what I'm saying? You need to read the fine prints. If you're signing any contracts or signing anything, just read it over 2-3 times. Cross your I's, dot your T's, you know what I'm saying? And look at all the legislations and all the fine print and everything. Don't let anything slip you past, not because it's your friend and they say, oh yeah, sign this, or oh yeah, just do. No, look at all the details, you know what I'm saying? Especially leading up to this full moon in Pisces. You might just end up in some sort of prison, hospital, because we know that Pisces deals with seclusion or imprisonment. Yeah, so we need to be very careful you don't end up in the hospital or in some prison or in some court system because you weren't looking at the finer details. You know what I'm saying? Protect yourself. All right, who's next? Somebody was asking about some job in October. 1, 2. Job in October, that's hard to decipher because October, we're going to be cusping Virgo energy and Libra energy. Libra deals with balance and harmony, justice and fairness. So it's going to be far off to decipher if the person is going to be in a job. But let's see. Let's do like a six card shuffle. 1, 2. You know what to do. Open the door. 5, 6, pick up 6. You know what I'm saying? Big card shuffle. So when it comes to that person's job, it depends on the individual if they want to have the job or not. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the one. So they're the one who should be dictating if they should be in the job or not. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we see any other energies other than them reacting and responding to different ideas about what they want to do when it comes to the job. So Mary has to choose if she wants the job or not. All right, let's go, guys. I need to get going. Does anyone else need a card reading when it comes to how to protect yourself leading up to this full moon? God damn it. It's gonna be powerful, y'all. All right, let me get ready to go. Let me get ready to go. I'm gonna finish this zoot and then we out. So if you got anybody else, the cards are here, the energies are flowing. We already know what we're looking out for. Alright, you have a major one. We don't accept blessings on this side of life. It's only big ups, be more, be major. We would never be less. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that you would never be less. We'd only be major. Be major, baby. Going once, going twice. Going once, going twice. Going once, going twice. Angela, I think you said something about if I'm going live, you live. So eyes in the club. I don't think I'm gonna go live in the club. Maybe I might not go live. Actually, I'm gonna go live in the club. I'm gonna go live in the club. I'm not gonna block my own blessings. I need to be live. So I'm live in the club. Hopefully the audio is good. Generally, how to protect your energy. We talked about it, creating a shield. You know what I'm saying? And you shield yourself based on your feelings that you're having. You know what I'm saying? So based on how you feel about people, places, things, circumstances, situations, or even your own thoughts, it's how you protect yourself. So for example, let's say you're listening to the news or you're listening to some gossip. It has nothing, well, meditation does help because meditation helps you to practice clarity, and it's you. For example, when you meditate, you know that you're going to get bombarded by thoughts, yeah, and emotions and feelings, and you being the God of your mind being able to destroy those thoughts as they enter your mind, or observe them and let them go. You know what I'm saying? So meditation helps you to pinpoint when thoughts enter your mind, you know what I'm saying, and you could watch them and observe them and just let them go. Same thing for your feelings. But when it comes to protecting yourself, shit, there's a lot of different ways of protecting. You know what I'm saying? Protect your eyes, protect your ears, protect your mouth. A lot of different ways of protection. But one of the strongest ways is guarding your feelings. You know what I'm saying? So going back to the example of, let's say you're participating in like some gossip or some news. You read the news about, oh, we're going to go to war with Putin. You know what I'm saying? When you get those thoughts, boom, you could control your thoughts by balancing them out. But it goes down to how you feel about what you heard. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? So the more you could balance out how you feel and have an equilibrium feeling about everything, then you could protect yourself from getting absorbed by the draconian agenda, which is to drain your energy and get you sucked into their narrative. Yeah, so if you could be like, oh, I don't give a fuck about Putin, or I don't give a fuck about the war or Ukraine or the Ukrainians. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Now what? Now what? How is this news going to hurt me? How is this news going to affect me? And I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And you kill those feelings, you eradicate those emotions, stuff like this. So yeah, you gotta guard your feelings, you know what I'm saying? But you could also protect yourself by protecting what goes into your eyes, what goes into your ears. You know what I'm saying? The people, places, and things you surround yourself with. You know what I'm saying? Your meditations, just being out in nature. You have like protective herbs and shit, like these ones. You get like your different incense and cleansing herbs that you could use, set your intentions and like cleanse yourself, purify yourself. So yeah, there's loads of ways, you know what I'm saying? Loads of ways. We're gonna get into it though. Thank you guys so much for joining the chat. I'm gonna end the live stream and I'm gonna go back live when I reach to the club. I'm gonna go back live when I get to the club. So I appreciate every one of y'all. Thank you from the deeper layers of my onion soul. Shout out to the moderators for being live and lively, ever present. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Also, if you want to watch back this video or any of my other like lectures or anything, you could go to my YouTube page. Yeah, because I'm posting all of my content onto my YouTube page. Also, I have music and other exclusive content on my YouTube page. So if you guys want to check out any of my other stuff, you could go to YouTube as well and enjoy the rerun. Enjoy all the reruns of the other lives. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, enjoy your lives and maybe I'll see you guys in the club later. And you already know, we're doing it major. I'm saying, for sure. For sure. I'm saying.